that's very exciting.
Next meeting is selected.
I'm sorry.
What time?
Is on.
It seems
on the
to be
9th.
flexible. Next week,
Okay. Yeah, we do need to talk about that a little bit. And
two things I'll talk about. I have.
okay, that's.
I heard that. It would have been nice if they had.
Oh yes.
And
Why? I got checked it cycle.
Let's go to Open Cape first.
Really lovely place to take. And mother gave this speech.
What do we need to? We have gotten a communication from Dan Gallagher.
On the 1st. I have
Yes.
July 1st.
Okay.
But we wanted to talk about the facility and the issues that we may or may not face with that.
Right.
So we have to look at that. But you guys are aware of what we're looking at, and that is utilizing portions of the public safety building for the Open Cape function, with the basement and maybe an office upstairs. But we signed a letter, remember we talked about the letter in support of them getting some grant money. I think Sheila, you said $3 million.
They're asking for $3.5 million to do a renovation.
To renovate that building. So what we will look at, I will ask Mr. Troy to give me some guidance on, because I believe we could sign a long-term agreement with Open Cape to use a portion of that facility, but to maybe lease the entire facility to them on a long-term basis, so they can do the renovation to the facility, then lease us back at either no or nominal cost. The rest of the building we can use it on a mirror lease for health department, human services, whatever.
Exactly.
Maybe it makes sense for Cape Light Compact. I don't know, staff to be able to do. So that's the piece that we're looking at.
If I understand this, you're going to check with our council as far as our ability to do it,
and how to go about it. I think there's some hoops that we need to
Right.
jump
If there's language in that lease that we need to put in, and Open Cape is they're the ones that brought this up. That they don't want to put the county at risk in any way or have this to be an imposition. They want this to be a win-win. So what is the language that will protect us in leasing them this building?
And there may be some RFP requirements that we have.
Right.
So if we need to do that, we'll do it. But of course, if someone's able to bring $3 million to the table, that's a pretty good incentive to do that.
Right.
Right now, we don't need anything.
Yeah, it's just that there was this communication. I will forward the communication, the questions that were asked by Dan to you as soon as I.
I asked John. Sheila sent me a list of things that if we could share some information with them. It was the building plans, the plans that the sheriff had for expanding the facility a while back. It was the electrical plans. So there's a bunch of stuff that.
And how NSTAR works. There's an agreement with NSTAR, something that they just have to have clarified. Who is the person to deal with that? I'm not quite sure what that meant either. That they can.
You're getting a separate electric bill for the building.
And it's just like we're doing now. Right now, we're getting an electric bill for that building because the sheriff has his tower equipment in there. He pays that piece of it. And we would.
So he's identified as the account.
Well, what we would do is we would subdivide the meter in whatever ways we need.
All right.
We did that at the farm. We'll do that up there. Those types of things.
I'm a lot more comfortable, with this piece because it's, we're paying attention to the, what I call the accountability piece and protecting the interest.
Absolutely.
Of the town.
The other thing, it does fit right into as part of our economic development. We were talking about Open Cape as far as being able to assist and support that effort because it will enhance anyone's ability and make opportunity more available for education and economic development. And I do think that came out as one of the priorities of this SEDS effort, so it all sort of ties in together very nicely. So it's we're actually moving along.
Would the sheriff continue to use that tower?
He has said he'd like to use he would continue to use that tower. It's a key piece of their kind of communication function. That's why it was originally built. It does have on it also some. The way it was originally built was, I think it was Verizon who approached us. He had another tower out there. Verizon said, "We'll build the tower for you as long as you enter into a lease for us to have our cellular equipment on it." So they built the tower for the sheriff. The sheriff has his equipment on it. Verizon, I think 2 other carriers now have space on it that they lease from
And
the
he
sheriff.
gets the revenues
He
from
gets
us.
the revenue. It's not a lot of revenue. It's
Small.
fairly small.
Small
Yeah.
revenues.
So
Is
he
there
has-
still capacity to lease to others, or
I
is it
believe
pretty full?
so, but I'm not quite sure.
Verizon said, I think the Cape Cod Commissioners requirement that it be capacity for at least 4.
I think so. I think there is some more capacity in there. And then in the basement of the public safety building, there's a room where they have the equipment in there. So it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. There's a generator associated with the building,
Yeah.
so it makes it's perfect kind of for that type of function and
Right,
operation.
right.
But the building needs a lot of work. We've
And-
done that for years.
And down the road, there is actually opportunity for the county, and when we have them before us, they can articulate this very well. I don't have the expertise to say, to have made that leap, but there is opportunity for the county to be much more involved with communications on the Cape on a regional level. And I'll say no more than that. They're able to put that out very clearly in how that can be like an enterprise function. But you don't have to. There's nothing to question, Bill. I'm just saying that this was an aspect that they were saying, like, if you wanted to look at this down the road, this is something you could do, and it was very interesting. And I didn't get the whole. These are concepts that if it's not you're talking with, these. IT and software people that I don't, but they understand what they're talking about, and I'm sure it's very easy. It's just you have to hear it a few times to
Okay, they're
wrap
going
your
to come in and
mind.
tell us about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I said. So they're going to discuss this, but there's
And we're
greater
covering,
opportunities for us.
we're
Yes.
covering ourselves by getting an opinion
Absolutely.
from council, and so I guess we're making progress.
Right. And do you have anything else to say?
No, no, that answered my question.
So the next thing is the who will be appointed to the
I'd
charter.
like to nominate Sheila Lyons to be appointed to the Charter Commission.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I participated in this thing for 4 times,
I
and you
chaired the charter
participated once,
committee,
right?
so
It's your turn.
yeah,
It would
it's
be
your
my
turn.
turn. It would be a
I'll
good
second
learning
that,
process
yeah.
for me.
Well,
And I can use you as
Sheila's the only naive one here.
yes, that's right, yeah. So he's thinking of he'll throw me into the wolves, but little
Oh,
do they
no,
know.
I usually attend these. I
Yes.
attend these things. Okay?
And I am sure that I will
And I
have
show
your
up.
counsel
It's a very
available.
interesting experience
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
part of a
And
charter
tell me, does
review.
Bob Troy
It
sit
is.
in on this process?
No,
Do-
he
do
has
they
not
They
done
have
that.
special
Do they
counsel.
They have approached us to use special counsel before, and they've used who's the guy who does the MMA law.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah,
Oh.
Copeland.
Very good.
Oh,
No. He's very good. He's
Oh,
very
I know who you mean.
entertaining.
The one
You know
that
him.
always
He's an older
does
gentleman.
charters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
charter
Yeah.
stuff. What's his name?
I forgot his
I
name.
can see him,
He
but I
did
can't
not
think of
write
his name.
our
A
no.
McDonough or McCarthy.
Well, whatever.
Do
He's
we have to
very good.
approve that person, or?
You do, actually, because it's special
Special
counsel,
counsel,
so you are the only ones who can approve
I
special
had
counsel.
some concern about a special counsel for that, because we already have a counsel.
But they had
It's
someone,
a special
woman
charter counsel.
from Murphy,
Somebody who's an
from
expertise.
Copeland and Page last time.
We haven't gotten to that point.
Yes.
Last time,
Yes,
I think you
that
did.
was
They
a whole
did.
other.
They used a woman.
Well, you did, but the
No.
No,
assembly
the county.
did.
Yeah, I remember it was very controversial.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
remember that.
Oh,
There was
at
a
least
disagreement between our county council,
Mhm.
Bob
Right.
Troy, and the council that they
Oh,
hired.
'cause they used
She
Copeland
was
and Page.
either
Yes.
from, yes, she
Oh.
was from Copeland and
Yeah,
Page.
and
I
then
remember.
there was a question of
That's right.
whether we should pay her or not, and then supposedly it was pro bono, then it turned out we got the bill. So there's all these things we have to do.
We will have to make sure we have that all straight before we go
Yeah,
forward
so
with
I'm
any of that.
counting-
I will.
This is a
I
great
will do this.
opportunity for
That's
you.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a fine opportunity for me.
And I'm sure that Pat and I will occasionally attend to.
I am sure that, and I am
Wow.
sure that you will keep my keep all of these points to the
And we'll
forefront, that I don't
obviously
forget
have-
them. You'll have a checklist
We'll have
for me.
feedback,
Oh,
for
yes,
for what's happening.
yes.
You haven't gotten a second yet, I don't think.
Oh, I seconded.
Oh, did you?
Mhm.
Okay, all in favor?
All over
Aye.
that. Yeah, right.
All right,
Aye.
I guess I'll accept that.
I just had Kara just brought in, as you know, you guys need to vote to assess the towns.
Oh, yes.
The county tax assessment
Right.
and Cape Cod Commission tax. It's as it was voted on and approved in the budget, so it's no change to any of that. but it's just a step in the process before we can send out the.
Is it,
We have to
is
make
it
a
more
motion?
than last
Yes.
year?
Yeah, they both went up 2.5%.
2.5%.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, just under 2.5?
Yeah, that
They
was.
both went up
Then the
to.
vote isn't, what she has there is incorrect. Let me read
Oh,
that,
really?
can I just see this?
They both went up
Yeah, it says
2.5%.
2.5% on there.
This vote does not reflect the statutory allowable 2.5% increase.
She's got it wrong.
Okay,
Oh.
so this should be a 2.5% increase, I just have to,
Certainly is.
and the numbers, Mark, did they come from you? Who generated these
Yeah,
numbers?
then they had 2.5%.
And you recognize, that's confirmed, I'll just tell her to change the text. Thank you. So,
Thank you.
Oh, it does
Can we
include,
make the
but it
motion
does
to do
include
that
the
and
two
then
and a half.
sign
The
it
the
as
memo
a-
says it does.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
make a vote. That's
Make a
Okay,
right.
motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2.5% increase.
I will second.
Well, that's
And then-
included in the county's approved 2010 budget
As included in the budget.
for the county tax and the Cape Cod
So
Commission.
you'll have the language on it.
correct, I will be back at the corrected one.
Thank you.
Okay, I made
This
that
one's
motion.
not
I
correct.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. She said that it
Thank
was.
you.
Oh, this is the environmental
That's the one
protection
that
fund.
is correct.
Yeah, then we can send the assessments out.
The other
Do we
discussion I
have to
just.
vote this one too? Excuse
Yeah.
me, this is the.
You
they
do
should-
both. You just did both.
Oh, he
The
did
tax and
both,
the county-
okay.
The Cape Cod Commission tax.
I do want to just let you know that I had a discussion with Joe. What is Joe's last name? Up in probate, the head of probate, and who will be retiring.
Yeah, I can see you.
I can see him. Yeah, I know. I think I even saw him up the
That's the guy
stairs.
that died.
And Howard
That
Coleman as
would be, that
well.
would be great.
No, I don't think it was him.
No.
No, he's going to be retiring though. He's been there for 37 years, and he's retiring like in about
Anastasia
3
wants some
weeks.
sort of certificate?
No, not probate. I'm sorry, probation.
Probation.
Oh,
He's the
probation.
chief probation officer.
The chief
It's
probation
not Alan
officer.
Good, is it?
No, it's Joe. I can't think of his
Yes.
last name.
Anyway, he's a lovely, lovely man. He
What would you like
came
to
to
do,
meet
Sheila?
me. No, he was
What would you
just.
like to do?
What would I like
No,
to do?
this is going back. If you would stop interrupting
Yes.
for a second. This goes back to the whole facility issue. Remember, Mary brought this to our attention before, and that's what she was trying to.
I would just like to
Exactly.
relate a conversation. The conversation is that I met this gentleman, and he was showing me around his office space up there, and then I was introduced and encountered. I had met him once before, Judge Nickerson, who proceeded to give me another grand tour of the upstairs and of the hearing rooms that the probation officers use to talk to their clients, and particularly the holding room for people who are
Jurors, potential jurors.
not jurors, people who are
Detainees, trial.
detainees. Yes,
Trial.
thank you. They're on trial. I don't want to call them criminals because that hasn't been decided. Defendants. Yes, thank you. That's the word. So for the defendants, as they are waiting trial or to be called down, there's this very small room, and it's actually quite disturbing. They're very disturbed by it. It's their inadequate quarters and kind of arcane. So they were pointing out to me that this could use some renovation upstairs. And I brought it to Mark's attention, and he gave me some background on the history of how this was looked at before, and then DCAM comes in. And
Well, I think, if I may, we have
Yeah,
two.
please
There's
give
kind
us-
of two issues out there. One is a long-term solution, which we know about and have been working on, and that's, as you recall, we're trying to move the health
Yes.
water quality testing lab up to the former gym building. Once that is done, and that's taking a bit of time, and it's taking a bit more time than we had anticipated. Once that's done, the plan was to build essentially a sally port in a corridor downstairs, in a holding area downstairs where you would hold the detainees, and then you would be able to bring them directly to the elevator and up and into the courtroom. So that would take that. That's the long-term solution. The short-term solution, as I said to Sheila, I said, typically here we will do whatever the state would like us to do. We don't have any hindrance on that or anything. But, we just don't have the state would have to come up with the money. And typically we would ask them to pay for the renovations that affect their own space, and typically they have. So I think that's the stumbling block right now, is the state just doesn't have the money to do short-term things up there. We don't have the money, they don't have the money, but they would need to come up with the money in order to do any short-term pieces up there.
Do
I
you
think
need
they're
these
aware
right
of that.
back? This-
Yeah, I need that back.
And where was the other one? That
It already went here.
it's the new one. Okay, I'm sorry. So I just wanted to let you know that was a conversation. I did bring it to Mark's attention. I will let them know that I did bring it to his attention. And if there's anything we can assist them in getting. One of the gentlemen that they brought me into said that he thought he could maybe access some DCAM funds
That would be
to do some of these
excellent, yeah.
renovations. So we'll follow up with that. And I think that's it. Just to go back to our conversation, and I don't mean to tell anybody how to do their job, but it's just, and I understand what you're saying. That was,
I think I should do and suggest. We've had a number of department heads here. I think it would be fair to have John come in, update you guys on what he's doing, because I had
think that would
same
be
questions about a number of issues. As you know, I did a department manager survey about some of the issues facing IT. I did address those issues with John, and he has been working on a lot of those. I think the biggest issue that IT has faced is kind of in terms of responsiveness, at least telling people where their request is for improvements. I also got a lot of feedback that did say, they recognize that we've kind of gone from no IT staff at all to, over the course of 2 or 3 short years, to having an IT staff. So I think there's a lot of backlog that they're working on there.
Absolutely.
And, things are infinitely better. I think we recognize that. John does recognize too, the issues with the phone system, and I cut him a little slack on that because it was brand new. So
Right.
he recognized, they're working out some of the bugs. I think if people part of the issue is sometimes John's not aware of some of the specific problems that people have. If they could either let them know, or if they feel like they're not getting a response, let me know, and I will take care of all that.
okay.
stuff.
He did mention that to me the other day, and only because I asked him if I could change my password to get on the thing, and he said, "This is exactly what I need to. I need people to come to me and ask me these things." So
he is working on a work order system. They did a test run on it with RDO. They need to work some of the bugs out before we implement it on a much wider scale. So there's things in the work, and I think it's only fair that he gets to tell you about it.
it would be. I think that would be great. So that way we'll all have something if somebody comes to us, and we'll also direct them to go to you.
Yeah, that's
with
fine.
any of those
Yeah,
concerns
absolutely.
from this
Yeah,
point on.
Absolutely. If
Okay.
they feel like they're not getting satisfaction.
All right, that's great.
In the area of IT, and although I clearly understand that John is not responsible for the web page, where are we? Are we done
Well,
with that?
he sort of is. It's kind of a technical or an artistic is the question. They've been working on the technical pieces. That's what they're trying to get settled. They're trying to pull all of the web pages in under the BarnstableCounty.org umbrella, and they're working on that. I think once we get that done satisfactorily, then we can address the artistic piece of it, which I think is Sheila's had some concerns about. Maybe artistic's not the right word. Maybe the user friendliness, accessibility piece of it.
Right.
And we might need to use some outside. I know Elaine has helped a lot on some of the things. Calliope over at the Cooperative Extension has helped a lot on some of the artistic pieces, especially for the annual report. So I think there's some things we can do in-house. There may be some things we just don't have the ability to do in-house, which we might have to look for a vendor to help us with. Okay. And money's tight, and that's part of the issue right now.
Exactly. I understand that is part of the issue. All around. So.
Okay, and just a question. We finished our strategic plan we had a meeting on the strategic plan Friday. Was there a reason why the RDO present there?
Yes.
Yes, Phil Burt was there.
That was Phil
That was
Burt?
Phil.
Okay.
Yeah. John wasn't there. There was a couple who had maybe I guess I'd call them semi-excused absences.
Joanne, John, and
I said Joanne didn't need to go because I was there.
Wayne wasn't there.
And Wayne wasn't there.
Okay, so but everybody has been advised that wasn't.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, I'm gonna. I pulled together all the packages of the Gantt chart hard copies, the those two training documents that I had, so I'll be sending those out to everybody.
Okay, so I do want to propose, now that we've done sort of like heavy lifting with the staff, that it might not be a bad idea to do something fun, which would be more bonding. And I know I'm stealing an idea from the commission. I know that they knocked this around about doing some sort of bonfire cookout in the...
Everybody brought their own sandwiches, if I remember that the way that works.
Yeah, everybody... no, but it would be nice to maybe do... Maybe I'd be happy to have people come down to... I know it's a schlep, but down to Wellfleet, and we could do maybe like a bonfire on the beach, or, you know, cookout thing. You wanted to run that by... It's not paintball. Well, you could bring paintballs with
I
them.
like it.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. It's too...
Violent.
Yeah, it's very violent.
It hurt.
Besides, you know, we'll end up getting shot more than anybody else, or at least I know I would. But anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. It might not be it might be something fun to do, and if that's too far, then maybe we could think of something similar in the near, before the.
Did they get invited to that the assembly thing?
No.
To what is them? To the.
John, oh,
The
yeah.
staff get
When did that
invited?
happen?
It's in August.
It's the
Oh.
third
Did we
Wednesday in
get one?
August.
Yeah,
You
so
guys
are
usually
invited, and
go.
always,
yeah.
the commissioners always go. John, the assembly holds their meeting down at the gazebo.
Oh, yes, down
And
there.
then
That's
John
right.
does some food for
That's,
Orleans.
oh, in Orleans, yes.
Oh,
It's at
I know
his
where it
place,
is, yeah.
Liam's, which has not been doing so hot since with all this rain.
I would think it's not.
Oh, my God,
Beach
poor
weather.
John.
Everybody is.
Yeah, anybody who has those outside
Yeah.
stands, I know, are having
It's got to be
a difficult term. Well, today
Yeah.
is brighter, and it's not raining, and they said it's going to get even brighter and hot tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to go right into humidity, which I don't like. But
Do you have anything else?
I think that I am. I have nothing else to report. Do you?
Yeah, I just want, just as a general thing, when we talk about setting up agendas, and we talk about structure, if we were to take a look at, have you got a copy of our agenda?
Right there.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay. If we take a look at that, you know,
The rubric.
Yeah, the rubric on the agenda, it might help with the, you know, with the structural issues as far as our piece of it. If we were clearly to outline new business, you know, I'd say a time for new business, a time for commissioner comment, and I think that if we're moving towards wanting to have a structure in the agenda, that we flesh this out and have a little bit more detail as to the specific parts of it. And in doing that, we could stay on topic and get through it a little bit easier.
I
Just
think
as a thought.
it's the more organized we are
So
in this
perhaps we
process,
could-
the better.
Perhaps we
will
could
be.
ask Mark to come up with a more specific.
Do you want to?
Not a
No.
topic, yeah, I guess a topic. Okay, this is, we talk about it, this, and we allow so many minutes for it.
Sure, no problem.
And
Do you think that would be
maybe
helpful?
Pat would work with you on that. You could
Oh,
set
that
up
would be
the
excellent.
rubric of the agenda. How would that be, Mark?
Is that camera still rolling?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Yes, that would be excellent.
Great. So that is decided, and then and I appreciate that. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Is there anything else?
I have nothing else.
All right. Well,
I have no
do we have?
Wow, that was a long meeting.
It was long. Do I hear a second?
I made the motion.
Oh, well, there's
Oh, you did?
there's
I'll
a second,
second it
and
then.
all in favor? Aye. Thank you so much.
It is new. Thank you.
Great. That was.